There will be those who are coming into this country already having the economic upward mobility wind at their backs. On the other hand, you're going to have folks who are coming in under a very different status, perhaps refugee status, perhaps not having the networks, perhaps not having their educational credentials transfer over.
The Asian American and Pacific Islander population is one of the most diverse in the United States.
My parents are your typical boat people. They fled Vietnam during the war by boat. My parents had me, didn't speak English, didn't have any money, but they put themselves through community college and were able to get scholarships.
More than 24 million Americans, 50 ethnic groups, speaking more than 100 languages.
The growing income inequality among the AAPI community is both something we're familiar with, unfortunately, in America, and also something that is idiosyncratic to the Asian American Pacific Islander community. It's not necessarily about what you know, it's about who you know and how you work the system.
Asian Americans represent 12% of the workforce in the United States, but are less likely to be promoted to management positions and face higher levels of long-term unemployment than other races.
My mom left school when she was 12 years old to work in a sewing machine factory. She didn't have to work the system to find out who's who and how that person can invite you to a higher profile meeting. And it was this experience that led to the two of us hitting a brick wall when she was laid off. It wasn't until I arrived at Harvard as a first-generation low-income college student that I realized those who end up getting these jobs are navigating the system in a very different way.
Being a woman and being a minority, I was never taught you need to ask for more. It was like, you should feel lucky you got the job.
Just one of many cultural differences.
In the Chinese culture, there's like a really strong bias towards saving.
My parents used to tell me, I invest in things that I can see, that I can touch and feel.
There can be a lot of social pressure that comes from your family to become a doctor or to become an engineer. That notion of my parents sacrificed so much to come to the United States. I became a newspaper reporter where I wasn't making very much money. Then I quit that job. Then I traveled and was essentially glorified unemployed for 2 years. Then I started my own business. Everyone thought I was nuts, and I wasn't getting an arranged marriage. I was like the black sheep of the family. It wasn't until my podcast hit 20 million downloads and the revenue in my company started approaching 7 figures that my family could actually see, wow, she can be successful in something that's beyond anything that what we imagined.
A Pew Research study found 29% of Asian Americans live in a home with 2 or more adult generations or grandparents and grandkids younger than 25, more than any other ethnic group.
There is much more of a cultural norm that you would have an intergenerational household, that you would end up financially supporting and emotionally supporting and physically supporting your elders.
These finance professionals, authors, and influencers
How many stocks should you own in your portfolio?
have learned from their parents, their cultures, themselves, through education and those around them, and now they're paying it forward, sharing their stories to help the next generation.
You're going to achieve the most. You're going to do the best, make the biggest contributions, and have the greatest levels of happiness in the field that calls to you, even if it's not the field that your family wants for you.
If I were giving myself advice, I would probably say don't keep such a big safety net, probably invest a little bit more. The younger generation should definitely risk more of their earlier dollars into growth stocks or things that will probably have a higher return than just like the average market return.
Empower yourselves to really read and learn. There's so many ways that you can really educate yourself, whatever you're interested in, to make sure that you find the right resources for that.
The hope is to make a difference in the lives of our youth and those who come after them.
The next generation, all of us, are in desperate need of your leadership, of your ideas, of your passion, of your care to the world. I say this especially to those who are coming from underrepresented backgrounds and humble beginnings. We need more leaders like you. So please don't give up, because we desperately, desperately, desperately need your ideas and need your talent.
Invest in you. Ready, set, grow. CNBC and Acorns.